the Capitol Hill editor of Streets blog, and I'm here at Rail Volution in Portland, Oregon. We're talking to some of the movers and shakers of the sustainable transportation movement that are coming up with some of the most innovative ideas about livable cities, walkable, bikeable communities. We are going to be talking to Congressman Earl Blumenauer, and we're also going to talk to some people that you may not have heard of before, like Seattle's Bus Chick, who writes a weekly blog about riding the bus.
This is the 20th time we've brought people together to think about how they revitalize their communities, how they work together, sharing the ideas that they're generated, developing new techniques, and getting inspiration from one another.
Rail Volution is not just about one kind of transit. It's about buses, it's about streetcars, it's about pedestrian issues, it's about bicycles, it's about figuring out how all these modes fit together. We have something like 21 mobile workshops. We've had 3 all-day charrettes, 4 big, broad, general sessions that kind of set the big ideas, 60 individual sessions, and we have, the hallways where people really do all their work.
What's going on in the United States today is pretty exciting. Places like Salt Lake City and Denver, who have actually passed massive funding measures. I'm calling it the transit space race. Basically, all these folks are competing against each other to build the next biggest system. But it's also a challenge because they're also looking at the same funding pot, which is fairly limited from the federal government and then locally as well.
Right now in DC, we feel that there's been a lot of change, just a lot of excitement in terms of transportation. There's a lot of new services. We have the DC Circulator, the Capitol Bike Share program, and just projects that we have in the city, such as the DC streetcars.
In San Jose, we've got Diridon Station that's going to get a high-speed rail, BART extension, electrification of Caltrain, all coming together in downtown San Jose. So we're trying to make it more bike friendly. So this has been a great opportunity to see what's out there.
Well, I think we're in an era when folks are seeing that the economy is in a different place than it's been for a long time. We have to make different choices. Transit and a low-car lifestyle is a much more affordable choice for a lot of people. So we're seeing people migrate to transit, to bikes, to alternative forms where they either can own one less car or they can run their car less, put less gas in the tank.
We always talk about transit as this wasteful subsidy, and yet we have subsidized this car system for the last 50 years. And I would love to see the federal government step up and start encouraging and developing a system that is extensive as the highway system for transit, so in cities and then between cities.
There's some pretty exciting stuff going on, like in Los Angeles with Mayor Villaraigosa's 3010 program, where he's asking the federal government to help him out to build stuff faster.
It is important for us to change the federal partnership so that the federal government works with us more efficiently and we can extract that value and be able to do things quicker and more targeted. The federal government is already moving in this direction with the Obama administration, but I would like to see us get the legislation passed so it gives us a 6-year framework.
We realize we needed to reduce our fuel consumption. We realize we've got an air quality problem. We realize that people need more exercise. So we're incorporating all benefits, air quality, health, transportation, and we're looking at different ways of doing things.
What's kind of great about being in Portland is just how easy it is to get on the streetcar, to look at the map, know where you're going. A lot of bus systems, a lot of cities don't have the kind of funding to have streetcars and dedicated rails. But what can we do to make bus systems as usable? How can we think about maps and stops, prepaying, things that make the ride faster and easier?
It seems to me that if we're looking 50, 100, 150 years ahead, that anybody, regardless of what party they belong to, needs to be looking at an investment in our existing infrastructure and looking at infrastructure that actually will work for the long haul and help us to not move backwards to the 1950s, but move ahead to the 2050s.
We're going to have to look for new sources of funding. Maybe that's through value capture, through real estate funding, or maybe it's through asking for gas tax increases or changing to percentages or whatever. But I think that's something that we're going to have to think about if we're going to go forward.
All across America, when people understand what's at stake, they approve local initiatives by a 3-to-1 margin. And the combination of that willingness to invest, coupled with the ability to spend what we've got more wisely, makes me believe that we can do this right.